Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. Today I want to look at and set up and shoot the new Win TFT Riser. Now this is an all carbon riser, and it's obviously not the first carbon riser that Win have produced, but it's different to the previous one. Now this is the previous carbon riser that Win produced, and it's still in production today. This is the Win Wireless riser. Came in a whole bunch of great colors. This was the red and black, obviously, and came in orange and black and green and black and a whole bunch of colors, yellows, white. White was impressive, and gold. This riser was really popular in 2017. It's died off in it was really popular in 2016. It died off in 2017 because this one came out. Now this riser is nowhere near as popular as this one was. Now it could be my sales have dropped, but in 2016 I sold bundles of these. In 2017 these risers only just came, when I say they only just came out, I think they were released in June, July, and I think I saw a couple come in the gloss finish, and then a couple came in after that. So I think now they're flowing. So it was basically halfway through the year. So these are pretty much a new, when I say a new riser for Win. So you haven't really seen it in the archery community that much yet. In fact, some of the top shooters from Win are shooting the aluminium riser. So that will draw this sale down a bit. Where with the wireless riser, I'm going to say the majority of the Win shooters were shooting the wireless carbon riser. There was still Win shooters shooting the metal riser, but the majority were shooting carbon. Now with this riser, it's a paint finish, so I'll zoom in. Now Win just do this amazing paint finish, and these like decals here, and these decals are under the paint. So this is the gloss black. It comes in a matte black, it comes in titanium, it comes in white, it comes in a red. The red is very dark, and it's very hard to pick the difference between red and black. And the blue is very dark. It's a very, very dark blue. Anyway, this is the gloss, and a lot of customers will say to me, should I go for the gloss or should I go for the matte? Now, your color choice is yours. Now this, you can see here, half of it's gloss and half of it's matte. Now the limbs for this, which match this limb, and obviously limbs you can fit on any riser, are gloss on one side and matte on the back. So to me, this kind of blended in nicely. They've got matching stabilizers in gloss or black. But one of my common questions I get from customers is, how's this paint going to last? So with compound bows, anodizing is the most popular type of paint finish put on compound bows. It's very durable, and in fact in 2017 Matthews changed to paint finish, and I would say it was unsuccessful for them as far as the quality of the paint, where the quality of this paint is just, that's a sticker if you see that. The quality of this paint is amazing. Now this riser is over a year old. I've shot it for over a year. Now there's basically no marks at all in this paint. Now you're going to say, how well do I look after my gear? I generally don't use a bow case. This bow's generally at home. Has the bow fallen over? Yeah, probably in the wind. It's a pretty hard paint. I mean, I believe it's the same paint as they use in cars. I believe it's a 2-pack finish. But this sort of stuff here, how they do this finish, to me is just mine, like this here, it's just incredible. So for me, is the paint an issue? I think the paint looks good if paint's done correctly, and Win do paint really well. Now I'm hoping you can see here, this is where the clicker goes from there to there. You can see just there, I'm hoping it shows up. You can see there's slight little marks. Now that's from the clicker. So paint does mark more so than an anodized finish, but it just looks awesome. So when I was looking at my new riser for 2017, and I currently shoot a X-Appeal PSE, but PSE have gone away from the top end recurve riser, and the state championships is coming up in a couple of weeks time, and I need to shoot some more points. So I thought, well, let's give this riser a go. Now, is this riser going to add points to me? Because it's, what does it cost? It's about $1,000, $1,100. Is this going to increase my points? Not a chance in, no chance, okay? Now, on that point, is it worth me buying this riser? Because if you go back to I'm going to get the number wrong, 1976, the men with cast risers, aluminium arrows were shooting 1,300 men's feeders. I shot a bit over 1,000 men's feeder with carbon limbs, carbon arrows, right? So the difference, like their bow today would be maybe a $300 bow. Their arrows are cheap, and they still shot these big scores. So first off, this is not going to add points to me. The reason I'm going to shoot this bow, I want to go through, I shoot every day. I got up this morning, I shoot before I go to work. I shoot about 50 arrows before I go to work. I come home, I shoot 50 arrows. I cook dinner, and then I go and shoot another 50 arrows. That's my general routine that I try and do. And I've got a goal at the end of the day, right? That I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to put all this work in and get better and learn a bit about this sport. Now, I've been doing it forever, and I have trained people to the Australian level who've won Australian championships with a recurve. But for me, I want to go through this process myself. I want to understand how my body's developing. I want to understand stuff, so I'm doing it myself. So why do I want this riser over the wireless or over the X-Appeal, and why did I choose this over the other ones? One is just pure looks. I think it looks awesome, and you know, if looks is your only reason, that's fine. I did think about the aluminium riser. The aluminium riser I thought about was the ATX, I think it's called, which is a beautiful riser, and it has the same grip as this grip here. So for me, these two risers were like, which one do I go for? Now I chose this over the metal riser because it's carbon, it matches the limbs, and it just matches the overall finish. And I figure I'm going to be shooting this riser for maybe 1 to 2 years. So this is a good thing, and I'll do a review to tell you how it all goes. So that's the purpose of this. Now the difference between this, and this is why I'm changing. This riser feels very different in the grip to this riser. The throat of the grip is a lot narrower. I'm hoping you can see that, but it feels a lot narrower. Now my hand position on this. Now if I put my hand in, you'll see my knuckles already automatically go to that 45-degree angle. So I'm not getting the movement with my hand position, because if I change my hand, I change where the arrow goes on the target. So I'm hoping that by shooting this bow and setting this bow up, that I improve my consistency, and I hope to improve my scores. Now, do I expect it? No, but let's hope. So that's why I'm doing this. So I'm going to set this bow up right now, and then we're going to go and shoot it. And I'm hoping that the setup's going to be okay, because I don't have everything at home that I have in the shop. But we're going to set this one up now, and we're going to shoot it. So let's see how I go. Okay, so as I go through to set this bow up, I just want to show you what the kit comes with. It comes with this little name tag, which you can fit to your bags when you're traveling. So it's got your name and address and a little Win logo. Just makes it easy to find your bag when you go to the airport, and everyone's got black bags. Comes with a cleaning cloth, which is just a soft, basically towel. It came with comes with this. Now let's show you what's inside this. So it comes with Allen keys. Now it's for adjusting the bow poundage. Comes with a clicker extension, which I'm going to fit just because I don't want to lose it. And it also comes with an instruction manual written in Korean. It's not really, it's written It's written in English, which is nice. It's always nice when it comes in English, to show you how to adjust stuff. It's a pretty good manual. It gives you all the basics you need to know. If you're like me, you never read it. This is really cool. Now, I don't know if you can see it and see what it is. What it is, it's stickers. And these are not the stickers you stick on your car, if I can ever get them out of the packet. Hoping we can zoom up. Now that one there is for your sight window, so you stick this on your sight window, so when you screw your sight onto your bow, you don't damage your paint when you take the sight off. I assume that's for where your, I'm not going to say the RRS, the sight plate goes, but I've got no idea what these little things are for here, so I'm going to have to read the instruction manual to see where to stick those stickers, and hopefully they'll be in the manual. I've used that one before on the sight tape, on that one, but I haven't used these two and this one. So it looks like kind of looks like where your clicker goes to stop that marking, which you saw on my wireless. So I'm going to check those out, see where they go, and we're going to set up this bow and go and shoot it. So let's get into it. Okay, so I've set up the TFT riser with the RRS, the sights and stuff. And one of the most common questions I get is, what color riser should I select? Now this is the gloss, and you'll see on this side it's gloss and the limbs matching a gloss on this side. Now on the back it's matte and the limbs are matte on the back. Now to me that's really good. When you're shooting in the sun, there is nothing worse than getting glare off your limbs straight in your face, and I've shot where that's occurred, so I'm pretty comfortable with the whole non-gloss on the back of the bow concept. But overall I think the bow looks nice and I'm excited to shoot it. Now what have I done to set this bow up? So I fitted basic plunger button rest. I fitted a toe point arrow rest here. This arrow rest is really cheap. I think it's about $10, maybe cheaper. Knocking points on at 90 degrees to the string, sight. And what I do is I start off really close to the target when I shoot. Now, when you set up the bow, this whole process of setting up this bow, I probably took me a bit over half an hour just to do that. I broke the arrow rest the first time I did it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw back the bow and check the clicker. So make sure the clicker button is set where I basically want it to shoot. I'm about 2 meters away from the target at this stage. I'm not going to shoot, I'm just going to pull it back. Now kind of went click about the right time, so I'm just going to give that a try and some shots. Now what I noticed when I set up this clicker is it's actually quite high up in this here compared to the PSEX pill which I was shooting before. Now when I put all the stabilizers on this bow, it feels heavy. It's a standard. The carbon risers are not light on the recurves. They're about the same weight as the metal. So it's not like you're going to carbon to pick up the lightness. And they're not light for the target recurves, because if it's light, you basically move around more and basically you get more shock. So they've added weight to this. Now let's have a shot and see what it feels like. This is my first shot, so if I shoot it. That's pretty good. So first thing I notice is the quietness. This bow is so much quieter than the PSEX appeal. Now I'm shooting outdoors. I normally shoot inside, and for me it sounds like it's going off like a shotgun, but this feels, to me it sounds a lot quieter. It feels like I feel less vibration when I shoot. Same stabilizers. These are the wireless Win stabilizers. So to me, I feel less vibration, the bow feels quieter. The draw cycles obviously they're going to be the same because it's the same limbs. Now the grip is so noticeably narrower, and it's putting my hand at 45 degrees, and that's what we've got to experiment with. So let me just have a couple more shots. Now see, that time the clicker went off too early through my draw cycle, so this time I'm going to move the clicker in a little bit, and that's part of adjusting the clicker to get it to go when you want it to. The quietness and the grip are the two things that are striking me straight off. When I used to shoot my X appeal, this used to come loose all the time, so I'm going to be interested to see if that came loose, and that was just with the vibration. I am getting, if you can see it, I am getting a slight whack on the arm with this bow compared to the X appeal. The PSE didn't hit my arm at all. And for some reason with the Win and Win wireless, I used to have the same issue. It used to whack my arm only a little bit. I think it was on the way back, not on the way forward. It used to just give me a little whack. Like this is not, that shot didn't hit my arm at all. So to me I really like the feel of this bow, the TFT. I'm happy I've chosen it. So now my steps are to see whether I prefer this bow over what I've been shooting, and I've got the wireless riser there. I've got the PSE X appeal riser, which I really like. But this riser, straight off the bat, I like it. It's vibration's good, feels good, the hand grip feels good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually tune my arrows to make sure my plunger button's in the right position, make sure my knocking points are in the right position. Now, one of the questions that I often get asked is, why have I fitted brass knocking points? I found they shoot exactly the same as my tie-on ones. My tie-on ones take more time to put on, and I wanted to get shooting. I wanted to get my knocking point, the height correct with the bare shaft before I shot, and then I'll take off one, I'll tie one on, and then I'll take the other one off, tie the other one on. But with this string's actually a Win and Win string. The center serving's not as strong as what I use. I use a halo serving, which is a more expensive serving. But I may get away with it for the competition in 2 to 3 weeks, but for long term I would replace the center serving because it basically wears out less if I use halo. So now my process starts. I move back, and then I'm going to try to shoot some arrows at 18 meters, and we'll see how that goes. So we'll just continue that with this video, so we'll see how. Okay, so I've progressed back to 18 meters. I'm going to shoot a few shots now and see how they go at 18 meters. The bow feels really good, and before I started this video, or at the start of this video, I said the riser to me is not going to improve my score, but shooting it and the way it feels, because my hand grip feels consistent, I've got a feeling my scores might improve. So I'm going to be really interested to see how this goes over the next few weeks, because I have about 2 to 3 weeks until the state championship. So let's just see how it goes. Now I had a customer in today. He's one of the best archers in the state with recurve. And I said to him, because he's shooting really well, I said, how many arrows are you shooting a day? He's retired. He goes, about 200. If you shoot 200 arrows a day, your scores are going to improve. He goes, oh, some days are good and Some days I don't shoot so well. He said, but even when I'm not shooting so well, it's better than what I used to shoot. And that's what it is. It's about the work you put in. But it's a lot of commitment. So it's all very well to have this flashy bow and flashy arrows, but if you're not putting the time in, what you've got is you've got a flashy bow with some flashy arrows, which is cool. It's like having a Ferrari, which is cool, but it's better if you can shoot straight. And what I'm finding with the toe point, arrow rest is the little blades coming loose on me when I'm shooting. So I need a small Allen key to see if I can keep this thing tight. Otherwise this rest is going. So now, I bare shafted a couple of shots with this just to see how it was shooting, and the bare shaft was pretty good. So I was pretty happy with that. The knot point level was perfect, so I would do a bit more testing with it. But at the moment it all looks good, so I'm just going to shoot some arrows, see how the bow's feeling. But to me, the grip feels more consistent. The bow feels quieter to shoot, feels less recoil. I feel like I'm pulling this arm up, which I need to pull down. But feels good. Feels really good. So just on these few arrows that I've shot, I'm pretty comfortable to say I'll be shooting this bow in the state championships in a few weeks. Now I was talking to the customer today, and I said, 200 arrows a day. He said, not every day do I shoot 200. Some days I shoot 100. And he goes, I kind of get up, I shoot a few in the morning, I shoot a few in the afternoon, I shoot a few later at night. And that's pretty much what I try and do. I try and shoot some before work, and then I try and shoot some when I come home from work, which is now, and then after dinner I'll shoot some more arrows. It's not 200, I'd like to be 200, but it's not. Bow's feeling really good. I've got no sling on the bow, and I'll just test that a little bit further. I've got no arm guard. I'm hoping the arrows are going okay because I can't really see them. I want to handle that. But when I put this bow together, I put it on the bow stand and I looked at it and I went, this looks cool. And looking cool is half the battle to me, because like when I had the SF Forged Riser, which is a good little bow, like it was cool, but it wasn't. I suppose it's like having a Ferrari and then having a Toyota Corolla. They both get you from A to B, but you're probably going to enjoy the Ferrari a little bit more, and you're not going to get there any quicker. That's what this is like to me. I'm more inclined to shoot this than a cheaper bow because it looks better, and I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. I'm more inclined to work harder because I've spent the money on the product. You know, the same deal with cars. I really don't like driving. And I sometimes buy a better car because I don't like driving in a hope that it'll help me want to drive. It doesn't. But with bows, it does. I shoot the more expensive bows. So I shot the Wireless, I shot the X Appeal heaps, like heaps and heaps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot the bare shaft arrow right now. I generally have a couple in my quiver and I shoot them from time to time just to see how everything's performing. And it's always good to have two, because what I found with one is you do a bad shot, and I do lots of bad shots, it magnifies it down at the target. So if you've got two, it gives you a better concept of where those arrows are going. Seems easy. All right, let's go down there and look at where those arrows are. Okay, so there's my two unfletched arrows. The height on those arrows was okay. They were a little bit to the left, which means I can move my plunger button, which I probably wouldn't mind doing. The group itself, that one's a bit rough, but that's okay. I'm pretty comfortable with that group. And that's my first so many arrows with that. If I adjust my sights, most of those will be on the gold. There'll be probably a couple of 8s, and that's what I shoot. I shoot, you know, probably 8 out of 10 arrows in the gold, and that's probably what that group will be. But to me, the bow's feeling good. It looks good. I'm pretty happy with the TFT Riser from Win & Win. I'm happy with the grip, and I think I can work with it. And when I say work with it, I think I can put more arrows in and get more consistency. And I'm hoping come 2 weeks or 3 weeks for the state championships, I'm hoping to be able to shoot a score that other people can't catch. But that's my hope. But I'm pretty happy with that riser, and that's just from a few shots. So I'm pretty happy with that choice, because I did kick it around whether to shoot the metal riser or shoot the carbon. I'm pretty happy with the carbon now. I think it looks better overall. I'm pretty happy with the way it feels as far as the shock, quietness. I think it looks better. So anyway, I hope that's helped you with the Win & Win TFT Riser. Like I said, all risers are going to shoot pretty much fine for you. This is just top end stuff, and yeah, basically that's no better, no worse really than what I was shooting before. But to me, it feels a little bit easier. So overall, the grip feels easier. So I'm hoping that will translate to scores, and I will shoot some scores leading up to that at indoor and sort of see what those are. I generally publish them. And one of the people said today that I'm shooting really crappy scores with my spin wings because I fletched them poorly, which I agree with. And he also said it changes the spine of the arrow, the lightness of these vanes, which I'm not certain about. I changed the point weight 10 grains, and I really didn't find that affected my scores, because I'm shooting one lot of 110s and one lot of 120s. I shoot about the same scores with them. The 110s shoot fractionally better. I just think I fletched the spin wings really poorly. So that's where I'm at with the spin wings. I did a bad job fletching them. As a result, I'm going to shoot plastic vanes. So anyway, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. I hope that's helped you out. Thanks for watching. Bye.